If you have ever felt stuck trying to plan summer homeschool, today's video is for you. My hope is that by explaining some of our summer homeschool plans, that it will inspire you in your own home education, whether you homeschool or not. Welcome back to My Healing Home. My name is Rachel, and that over there is my husband Dan. We live in the heart of the Midwest on 40 acres with pigs, chickens, bees, turkeys, and whatever else we decide to try. We have the privilege of parenting and homeschooling 3 rambunctious but lovely blonde-haired little boys who constantly are making life interesting. Oh, and there might be another one on the way. I hope you join me over here on YouTube as we explore the good, the bad, and ugly of motherhood and homemaking. But more important, rejoicing in the privilege of our sanctification as we learn to live and thrive for the glory of God alone. It's been a fun week around here as we welcomed our 4th son into our family. He was born on March 21st at 3:50 p.m. with just under 6 hours of labor. He came in at 8 pounds 4 ounces and 21 3/4 inches long. This was my fastest labor and our smallest baby. I had prayed and hoped for an 8-pound baby and finally got one. Our other ones were in the 9 and 10 pound ranges. So as we focus on being home with our new bundle of joy, how cliche of me to say, I thought I'd bring you along for a look into our lives as we explore our summer homeschool ideas for 2024. We finished up our homeschool curriculum the week before Waylin's due date, which was the 22nd. It was a very intentional decision that we worked hard to accomplish by taking minimum breaks throughout the school year and also starting earlier than most schools do in this area, which for us was somewhere in the middle of August. I'm very grateful that we did this, because each baby is different, and I sort of assumed that we would have another easy baby like my previous child. I have no idea why I assumed that. Wilder had a lip tie that had some complications, but as far as sleep goes, he was a champ. Waylin has been very different and goes in about 2-hour chunks of time, which I know is pretty normal. But for whatever reason, I had just that idea in my head that once you had an easy child, the rest would be easy. I have so naive of me, but for whatever reason, I had that in my head. One night, we got an epic 2 hours and 40 minutes of sleep total, according to my smartwatch, so he has really been testing my resilience. Meanwhile, I also suspect he has a lip tie, which has made feedings difficult and then impossible, so we've been working through that as well. I'm very grateful we took the time to work ahead on a firm schedule with school. If you're pregnant and homeschooling, I highly recommend you schedule your homeschooling around that baby's due date and give yourself plenty of time off if possible. We used My Father's World kindergarten curriculum this year, and I supplemented with age-appropriate materials for West, who was in his first year of preschool. Honestly, we had a blast with it, and I will look forward to using the curriculum again with my younger 2. However, I was also quite ready to put this year to rest and to move on. On the last day of school, I packed up all of our curriculum and switched over our homeschool area to summer and 1st grade. I have been giddy with excitement about creating some spring and summer plans for our family. I think that part of the reason is that instead of doing a curriculum set, I can pick things that are a bit more a la carte and supplement based on interests and what I'm actually good at teaching instead of what's necessary. Not that we don't already do that with our homeschooling, but having this extra springtime and summertime will give us even more freedom and flexibility. So, without further ado, here are some summer homeschool ideas for 2024 that we are planning for our family of 6. These ideas may be totally out of your wheelhouse and interest, but they also may give you some ideas to jumpstart what will work best for your family. To start things off, let's talk about my book plans for learning during the spring and summer, or as I like to call it, Mom's Continuing Education. I have a few audiobooks from last year that I want to finish up, with the main one being For the Children's Sake. It's been a great book, but I haven't whipped through it like most audiobooks. During the spring and summer, I'm setting the bar quite low for myself in the reading department and really only want to finish 2 books that I intentionally picked based on our homeschool curriculum for first grade and my emphasis on nature study this summer. The 2 books are Rooted in Wonder, which is a new release in 2023, and Honey for a Child's Heart. I love having hard copies of books, but typically in my season of motherhood, I find myself also listening to an audiobook in conjunction with physical reading. I'll also note here that we are fully intending to continue our read aloud tradition in the mornings and are hoping to get through at least 1 or 2 Laura Ingalls books, which the boys are very excited about, and we might even have a trip planned to Walnut Grove later this summer, which again the boys are very excited about. If you don't have a lot of time to commit to summer homeschool plans or home education plans, just doing read aloud can be a fantastic way to just continue the education in a very simple format. There are 5 items that we are intentionally focusing on this summer for reinforcement and enrichment. They are the morning menu, nature study, math, reading, and nutrition education. Let's start off with the morning menu. The morning menu is something that I've seen in many different formats for many different ages. Last year around this time, I found myself burnt out with school and definitely not wanting to finish our preschool homeschool intentions. In retrospect, I should have just dropped the whole thing and provided opportunities for play and exploration, but I decided to make my own version of a morning menu and use it to save our school year. It actually did the trick, and we ended the year strong. This spring and summer, I'm bringing it back for Wyatt and West with some additional memorization pages, like the Pledge of Allegiance, Pledge to the Bible, and memorizing some key Bible verses for our family. Inside the morning menu are other items like name writing, letter writing, number writing, weather reports, and shape and color activities. As you can see, I have tons of additional pages available in the morning menu download, and the concept is super customizable to fit individual needs. Our goal is to do our morning menu review 2 to 3 times a week throughout the spring and the summer months. I've loved the Charlotte Mason philosophy and viewpoint for years. As a preschool teacher, I was inspired by her philosophy, and now as a homeschool mom, I'm inspired by her practical wisdom. One of the things she emphasized was nature. Out of everything that we have planned for this summer, our nature study and time outside is what I will prioritize the most. We are excited to work through this nature study journal by the Good and the Beautiful. I made a mistake when ordering and thought it said for ages 4 to 8, but it actually says grades, not ages. But I'm not worried about it because we're going to do it together and it'll still be a great journal to keep. Along with our nature study, we are looking forward to growing gardens and raising lots of animals again this year. The boys helped me plan the gardens with the Territorial Seeds Garden Planner, and I had so much fun tweaking the idea and planning out our gardens. I highly recommend that garden planner. The boys are also going to get their own individual garden boxes to grow whatever they want, and they are truly, really excited about that project. Nature study is the most thing that I am excited about this spring and summer, which is why I chose the book Rooted in Wonder as one of the books I want to read. I've already started the book, and I would really like to share in this video one paragraph that stands out to me as a great summary of the why my heart is in nature study this season. She says, "Nature education is growing in style and popularity. Our generation has seen a sharp turn to the soil and water, and a pang of gnawing hunger for simpler and more natural way of life. Yet, I'm concerned at the cheap, shallow offerings I see. In many areas, the connection between creation and creator have been severed. It is our responsibility and joy as parents or caregivers to reconnect the dots. We get to serve up a complete picture for our children. We can bring naturalism, the study of natural things, back to its rightful place as theology and education of our Creator. We can offer our children an intellectual faith founded in tested scientific facts and nurtured through outdoor play. We can give them a resilient faith rooted in evidence and led with confidence." My next 2 focuses for spring and summer are math and reading. Math is something that we didn't really emphasize well this year, and I realized that my son needed some extra work in that area. But he didn't really like some of the hands-on games and activities that I was doing. For whatever reason, he thrives with math workbooks. So I found one that didn't have too much twaddle in it, and we will work through that this summer along with some preschool sheets for our preschooler. I'm also hoping to get through Teach Your Child to Read in 100 lessons, but I'm not holding to this goal too tightly. I'm one of those moms who would totally feel confident and secure if my boys didn't learn to read until they were 7 or 8. Boys have a natural bent to explore, run, play, get dirty, build, and test boundaries. Not that little girls don't, but it's a different type of energy that little boys have. God gave them this energy, and to squash it with pushing unnecessary learning on them before they are ready is not something that I intend for my specific boys. I find that when I leave them to their own free play, that they come back to me with questions and curiosities that lead them into valuable learning that they actually remember, as opposed to learning I force on them that doesn't always sink in as deep. So, although we're doing math and reading, I'm holding to it very loosely this summer. Our last focus is another one I'm pretty excited about. I'll be slowly going through Trim Healthy Me with all our boys and having them start learning to cook and bake more in the kitchen. I'm specifically doing the Trim Healthy Me curriculum for my boys to understand the importance of protein, carbs, and fats, plus hopefully a beginning understanding of sugar and glucose. We talk about healthy eating a lot around here, and although we don't ban sugar, our home is pretty sugar-less than most. I literally do not buy sugar for baking and use natural sources like stevia, monk fruit, honey, and maple syrup. The boys will hopefully be helping me grow a stevia plant this summer, which is always a hoot when we get to taste those sweet leaves. I'll also be using the Nourishing Traditions Cookbook for Kids by Sally Fallon, which I think does a better job emphasizing visually healthy recipes for kids. Both these books are very well done and reflect my personal view on nutrition, eating, and health in our family. And those are my 5 spring-summer homeschool plans for our family. Now, I'll be the first to say that we might not get through all of these items or be consistent with them. We have a baby to snuggle and enjoy, plus we have all our traditional homesteading items that we want to get done. I strongly believe that being a part of a family unit is way more important and educational than all the curriculum we can throw at kids. We'll also be doing plenty of field trips, zoos and parks, and extracurriculum classes through some local connections and schools. I find for myself I need to have intention and plans for everything when it comes to home educating my boys. There are many areas in life where I can just instinctively wing it, but education is not one of those areas. I have also learned to let go of the guilt when I can't get something done exactly the way I've planned. You might be totally different than me and can wing it for education plans, but if you are more like me, you may find that my digital summer homeschool planner could be helpful. There's no cost to this planner or subscription. It simply has some summer calendar pages, lesson plan, read aloud book planning, and more. In the Vault section of my website, I'll have a link to download the PDF. Of course, feel free to subscribe to our newsletter, which has lots of free recipes, printables, and resources. And there you go, friends. There are our spring and summer homeschool ideas for 2024. I hope that these have inspired you on your home education goals and that you enjoy whatever God has in store for you this summer. Blessings as you pursue your version of a healing home.